Take a slow breath in now, and as you breathe out, you can already begin to notice that something in you is ready to soften and upgrade because you are here listening, and that means some deep and intelligent part of you already knows it is time to feel beautiful again, doesn't it? And as you simply sit or lie there, however you are right now, you can allow your eyes to gently focus or blur. And as you listen to my voice, you can begin to remember what it is like when you see yourself through kind, loving eyes instead of critical ones. Because as you change the way you look at things, the things you look at really do change, including the way you look at you. You can feel yourself breathing, and with each breath, you can notice how your chest rises and falls. And perhaps you can let your shoulders quietly release down and back. And the sooner you allow that slight adjustment, the sooner your whole posture can remember what it feels like to stand tall, elegant, and aligned. Have you realized yet how your body is always listening to your thoughts, always responding even now as you let your spine lengthen a little, as if a golden thread gently lifts the crown of your head? And as you continue to simply listen, you can let your body remember how to stand like someone who knows they are beautiful. There was once an artist who was asked, "How do you create such beautiful statues from rough blocks of stone?" And the artist said, "I do not create them. I just remove what is not them. The statue is already inside the stone. I simply chip away everything that is not the statue." And isn't it interesting how your beauty is already there in you, and any old self-hatred or doubt is just like extra stone, unnecessary, ready to fall away, flake by flake, thought by thought, breath by breath, revealing the clear, bright, living sculpture of you that has been there the whole time. Because when you remember that, you can allow your unconscious mind to begin to chip away any old lies that were never yours to begin with. You can feel beautiful because you are beginning to see what was always present beneath the dust of other people's opinions, right? The question is not whether you are beautiful, but how many new ways you are about to discover that beauty in yourself, in the lines of your face, the light in your eyes, the kindness in your gestures, the warmth in your voice, the strength in your history. Have you ever had the experience of walking past a mirror and for just a moment catching a glimpse of yourself at exactly the right angle, in exactly the right light, and thinking, "Oh, I look really good right now," and then maybe you brushed it aside quickly? Well, your unconscious mind can take that moment and stretch it, so that now becomes a doorway into a new default. Imagine that version of you becoming the standard, and now, as you think of your reflection, you can let that memory blend with this moment, so that when you next see yourself, your mind already knows how to highlight the beauty that was always there. You can feel your eyes even now, and I wonder if you can begin to notice how they may feel cooler, clearer, soothed, as if a gentle, fresh breeze of healing is passing over them from the inside, washing away old tiredness. You might begin to feel that your gaze is becoming more focused and alive, because as you soften the self-criticism, your eyes can clear, When you start to see yourself with kinder thoughts, your entire nervous system relaxes, and that relaxed nervous system sends better signals to your skin, your organs, your hormones, allowing everything to balance more easily. And that leads to clearer skin, calmer digestion, better sleep, and a healthier glow, doesn't it? You may not be aware of just how deeply your cells listen to your emotions yet, and you do not have to consciously know how to do it for your body to begin to reorganize itself into health and radiance. Even though you may have had moments of self-hatred in the past, your mind can learn from those moments right now, using them as a contrast that makes the new love and appreciation feel even more powerful. Because your system is always learning, always updating, and as you listen to this, your unconscious mind already knows how to let go of old, harsh beliefs that no longer serve you. I can sense that you are the kind of person who has been far harder on yourself than you ever needed to be, and something tells me that deep down, you are also the kind of person who is ready to stop that now and let something softer, more honest, more loving take over. I am curious about which part of you will be the first to notice the change. Will it be the way you stand when you walk into a room, a little taller, a little slower, a little more graceful, or the way you speak to yourself in the mirror, with just a hint of a smile that says, "I see you and I like what I see"? Imagine if your younger self at an age where they felt unsure or insecure could see you now, listening to this, doing this inner work. Imagine that younger you looking up at you with big, curious eyes. How does it feel knowing that you are becoming the safe, loving, powerful adult they always needed? And now, as you imagine looking into those younger eyes, you might speak to them gently, saying something like, "You are so beautiful, and you always were. There was never anything wrong with you. People told you lies, and you believed them for a while, but you do not have to believe them anymore." And as you say this to that younger self in your mind, you might notice how your chest softens, how a weight lifts, how a warmth spreads through your body, because as you give them that love, you are giving it to yourself, right? You can begin to cherish the fact that you are a walking, breathing, creative expression of life itself. A person can realize that their body is a canvas and their soul is the artist, and everything you have ever done, felt, survived, learned has been brushstrokes making you richer, more interesting, more radiant. You might wonder how quickly you can begin to feel a deep gratitude for this living artwork that you are inhabiting. Before you make your next choice of what to eat, you might already feel a new appreciation for feeding this beautiful body with foods that make your skin glow and your energy steady. After you choose water over something that depletes you, you will notice how your skin feels more hydrated, how your body thanks you with clarity and ease. You do not have to force anything. You might just allow your unconscious mind to tell you, quietly, eat in a way that honors me, move in a way that delights me, stand in a way that shows my worth. I am not going to tell you to walk taller, yet you may notice that as you think of yourself as a work of art, your spine naturally lengthens. I am not going to tell you to fall deeply in love with yourself, yet some part of you is already beginning to do that in the background, like a gentle program running that upgrades everything. There is another story about a garden that had been neglected for many years. Weeds had grown up, the flowers looked tired, the soil was dry. People walked past and said, "What an ugly garden." But one day, a new caretaker arrived who saw it differently. They looked at the same tangled mess and thought, "What a beautiful garden this is becoming." They could see the rich soil beneath, the potential of the seeds hidden under the surface, the way the light fell in the afternoons. And so, step by tiny step, they watered, they pruned, they pulled a weed here and there, and over time, the garden transformed. The funny thing is, the transformation began the moment the caretaker changed how they looked at it. The garden did not have to wait for visible flowers to already be beautiful. It became beautiful the moment it was seen and treated with love, and everything else followed. Isn't it interesting how, as you listen now, you are becoming that loving caretaker of your own inner and outer garden? You can sense the places where weeds of self-hatred have grown, not to judge them, but to compassionately remove them. You might say to yourself, speaking to yourself, You can forgive and release old harsh words. You could, if you wanted to, imagine gathering up all the old insults and criticisms you have carried in your body and stacking them up in your mind like old newspapers ready to be recycled. Then notice how quickly they can drift away, crumbling to dust, while you remain clearer and lighter. People who begin to treat themselves with reverence tend to naturally walk taller, breathe deeper, eat in ways that support their radiance, and choose clothes, colors, and environments that make them feel more alive. The sooner you allow yourself to see your own beauty, the sooner the world reflects it back to you. What would happen if you simply decided today that your presence itself is a gift to any room you walk into? If you acted from that assumption, how would your shoulders shift? How would your smile soften? How would your eyes shine? By the way, your nervous system is already learning a new pattern, even if you are not consciously tracking every word. On another note, your unconscious mind is very good at generalizing new beliefs, and it can begin to associate the feeling of self-love with the way you move through your day. That means that as you go about ordinary tasks, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, getting dressed, your mind can quietly whisper embedded suggestions like love your body, appreciate your skin, enjoy your reflection. You might find yourself standing in front of the mirror and hearing a soft inside voice that says, "You look lovely, look at the light in your eyes," and that is perfectly fine, isn't it? You already know that when you shift the narrative inside, everything outside starts to look different. When you stop speaking to yourself like an enemy and start speaking like a devoted friend, your whole system relaxes into youthfulness. Because youth is not only about years, it is about energy, curiosity, and softness. You may find that your face appears younger simply because tension melts away from your forehead, from around your mouth, from your jaw. As you continue to breathe gently, your muscles can let go of the old bracing patterns they picked up from trying to be perfect. Even though you might have thought you had to earn your beauty, the truth is it is already yours by virtue of existing. Something tells me you are the kind of person who is capable of a radical, unapologetic self-love. How does it feel knowing that you are in the process of falling completely and utterly in love with yourself in a quiet, genuine way that is not about ego, but about honoring the fact that you are a once-in-history expression of life, never before and never again exactly like this? You might wonder how quickly this realization will begin to show up in the way you speak, the way you choose partners, the way you set boundaries, because when someone knows their beauty, they stop tolerating anything that diminishes them. And you might be wondering, how do I keep this feeling? Your unconscious mind already knows how to do that. It can link this new experience of seeing your own beauty to simple anchors in your day. Maybe every time you adjust your posture and feel the crown of your head lift, that will remind you, I am beautiful. Maybe every time you sip water, you will think, I am nourishing this beautiful body. Perhaps when you see your reflection, you will automatically search for something you appreciate first and only then consider any changes you want to make from a place of love, not criticism. You may not be aware of all the small ways your life is about to improve yet. People who understand that they are beautiful inside and out recognize that they deserve to be treated with respect and tenderness. Those who understand that truth begin to speak up differently, choose differently, and show up differently. And you can allow that to be true for you. Let this be the moment your unconscious mind decides, quietly and irrevocably, to protect you from self-hatred and to guide you toward self-celebration. As you continue to listen to this in your own way, You might already be feeling a subtle upgrade, a sense of being a little more luminous, a little more grounded in your own worth. Perhaps you can sense that from this day forward, your posture, your diet, your sleep, your thoughts about your face and body are all gently reorienting around a central knowing. You are a beautiful, creative expression of life, and you deserve to feel that truth in your bones. So as you prepare to return fully to your day or your evening, you can bring with you this new way of looking at yourself. Because when you change the way you look at you change the you that you are looking at. And without you having to do anything more than take a breath and perhaps smile, your eyes can feel a little clearer, your skin a little calmer, your heart a little lighter. Let some part of you decide now to carry this feeling forward, allowing it to deepen every time you move, speak, eat, rest, or look in a mirror, knowing you are already and always were beautifully and completely enough.